What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team FISHKNUCKLES YouTube channel. So today is a special Fan Friday in my heart. So right now going on, there's a World Championship happening in Anaheim, California. No, I didn't get my World invite this year. I really didn't play too much competitively. I didn't really travel to League Cups, stuff like that. Maybe I had like 120 points. I don't know. Didn't really test, but I'm starting to test a lot right now. I mean, as you saw this past week, we did very well at the ARG Invitational. I am testing a lot more now and have time for that, so that's really cool to do. But back in 2015, which was 2 years, still crazy, 2 years ago. Wow, insane. But 2 years ago, I would play in the Boston World Championship playing the Hippowdon deck. Now, before we talk about that, there's a lot of story behind Hippowdon. If you don't know about it, in 2015, a player named Eduardo would play Hippowdon at Nationals, get top 8 with it. We do a deck interview with him, and then me and him become really good friends. We talk all the time now. So later on at Worlds that year, we give our Worlds invite, we go there, we start hanging out, and I'm 100% sure I'm playing Sidestone Crobat. I think it's the best deck, whatever. It's good to go. It could beat everything. And then I talked to Tommy. So Tommy comes up with my friend's Tommy. He comes up to me and he's like, "Yo, I got this. I got the secret play. We're playing this. You're on a day 2 with it." He already had his day 2 invite, but he's like, "Hey, you're gonna day 2 with this deck." And he hands me it, and it's Hippowdon. I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" I've talked to Water about Hippowdon. Now Tommy's talking about Hippowdon, and we would go and make top. We would advance to day 2 with the Hippowdon. Now me and Justin, I mean, you've seen Justin here a lot. We have both played Hippowdon, both make it a day 2, and it's a special place in both of our hearts for sure. So Hippowdon, oh man, dude, it's so much fun. Like, it is an amazing deck. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Hippowdon, and if you want to see any of the videos I'm talking about, I'll leave a link down below to where you can see the interview with Wardo. We're talking about the Hippowdon deck. You can see me talk about my top 64 performance with Hippowdon, and see what the difference is. But today for Fan Friday, for the World Championship, we are having a blast in the past. 2 years ago, playing Hippowdon now. Now, if you don't know Hippowdon is, don't worry, you're not alone. Hippowdon has an attack of Resistance Desert. It does 60, and during your opponent's next turn, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon by Pokemon EX. Now, I know the game has changed drastically, and now there's new things called GX and blah, 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 and you're gonna, whatever, you're not gonna be able to take down GX decks. That's fine, we don't care. You can still take down a ton of decks with Hippowdon, and that's the really cool thing about it. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to resist this desert, make our EX Pokemon can't hurt us, and we're going to try to win that way. I guess the one deck I'm scared that's not a GX or yeah, but that's not a GX is going to be definitely Trevenant. I think Trevenant's definitely a terrible matchup, but you can easily beat Night March. Night March was one of our favorite matches to play. I think I beat 3 Night March decks that day, which was like a fantastic. It was so much fun. But yeah, Resistance Desert is what we're doing today. It also has Double Edge 100, does 20 damage to itself. So that's what we're going to do today. So we play a 33 Hippowdon line. We're playing 3 Hawlucha. Once again, Hawlucha can only affect EX Pokemon. It does 60 to an EX. If it's not EX, it does nothing. Shining Spear makes sure it doesn't hit for weakness or resistance, so that's really cool. 1 Energy, 60, and Free Retreat, which is very crucial to point out. It has 1 Shaymin and 2 Seismitoad-EX. Now, at the time, this is how you'd beat Seismitoad. Seismitoad was definitely one of the biggest decks at the National Championship that year. Oh, man. Also, during day 1, we would take down the eventual World champion playing Archer Jacob Van Wagner with this deck. So that was really cool to do as well. It was so much fun that year. It was such a fun time. But yeah, so we'd have Seismitoad there. We'd Quake a Punch, and against the mirror, you kind of use Seismitoad, but we have like Xerosic, and at the time, they weren't Acerolas, they were Pokemon Center Ladies, which would help you out like amazing in the mirror. And then that's how you kind of won. You had like healing cards. If you see this deck's really like defensive, it's got Acerola, it's got Xerosic, it's got the Focus Sash, the Enhanced Hammers. It's got a lot of stuff to heal your Pokemon, and that was the goal of the deck. We're playing a really defensive and try to win that way, and that's why Hippowdon works so well. So that's gonna be all the Pokemon you play. 1 Computer Search, discard 2 cards from your hand, search deck for card, put it in your hand, shelf your deck afterwards. 2 Enhanced Hammer to beat the Seismitoad matchup and help out against Night March. So that's something really cool you can do. You can Enhanced Hammer Night March. You can also, like, against Night March, you definitely just Quake a Punch and you're gonna go whatever. You got Enhanced Hammers, you got Xerosic, you got Acerola, so you're gonna be good there. One stretcher now, stretcher's just good overall. Just get Pokemon back in your hand or your deck. 2 switch, you're going to notice Hippopotas has 4 retreat and Hippowdon has a 4 retreat, so really heavy retreat Pokemon. And only 2 Ultra Ball. This is only because you need to search out your Seismitoad and Shaymins. You don't need 4, you're good to go with 2. And 4 via Seeker, definitely best card in the game. 3 Silent Lab, make where base Pokemon don't have abilities, which is really good now, especially with Lele and Shaymin being everywhere and Jirachi and expanded. 2 Acerola to return 1 Pokemon back in your hand if it's any damage counters on it, so it's really, really good. Because what you can do is basically loop between Hippowdons and somehow they attack it, or maybe they laser it. You can like Acerola the Hippowdon back in your hand, put it back down a new one, attach energy, be good to go. So Acerola is really, really crucial. You can like heal your poison damage. You can still play the 2 Cinder Ladies if you're that scared of Hypnotoxic Laser. And that's always the thing you can do. 1 Colress, shuffle your hands deck, draws many bench Pokemon in play. 4 Korrina, and this is how we're going to set up here. Korrina lets you search for a fighting Pokemon and an item card. So with this, you can grab like a Hippopotas and like whatever, a Computer Search, Enhanced Hammer. You're going to be good to go. You're going to find what you need. 1 card you could maybe put in here is a letter, but you have 12 energies out, so you should be okay. 2 Lysandre, no Guzma. I don't know, because usually I mean, Guzma's good just in case they do a Lysandre around it and like somebody gets stuck in the act spot. But Lysandre's still, I think 2 Lysandre's just fine overall. 3 in, 3 Sycamore, and 1 Xerosic. Xerosic can discard a tool or special energy in play. It's like DCs, DCs. That's the main thing is Xerosic, especially in the mirror match with Sidestoad back then. Like it helped out so much. 3 Focus Sash. And this is how we're going to kind of try to take down Night March. Focus Sash, your full HP will be knocked out. Your HP is 10, and you discard this card. So this is how you kind of took down Night March, because you can Focus Sash your Hippowdons. At the time, there really wasn't a way to remove tool cards, except for Xerosic, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but that's how you'd beat Night March, is they really didn't have a way to remove your Focus Sash, and you would just resist the desert, they smack you, you then resist the desert, and since you're playing Strong Energies, you can one-shot Pumpkinboos, you can one-shot Joltics. The only bad thing is you can't really deal with Marshadow, so that's pretty annoying, but you do have Quake Punch, Sidestoad, so that's fine, I think, because once you Quake Punch 4 times, and you can discard all the energies, because we played 2 Enhanced Hammer and the Xerosic, so you have 3 outs and a VS Seeker, so you have more. But once you discard all the DCs and they don't have a way out, they're probably going to scoop, unless they play like Ranger and then hit DCs that way, then maybe they could break the luck somewhat that way. But we're playing, 2 Muscle Band, doing additional damage, which is really good sometimes, especially if they can't, like, they're playing an all EX deck, then you definitely need to like Muscle Band a Hippowdon and win that way, which is pretty nice. But 4 Strong, 4 DC, and 4 Fighting Energy. Now, if you want to learn more about Hippowdon, especially for 2015, and you want to see older videos, we do interviews with Eduardo, we talk about our performance at Worlds. The links are down below if you want to watch this stuff. But there we go. There's the Hippowdon Sidestoad deck. Now, like I said, you do lose against GX. There's more tool remover cards to get rid of like Focus Sash, stuff like that. But it's definitely interesting to see the stack in action 2 years later. But guys, like I said, today is the World Championship. It's going to be a Pokemon. I think it's Pokemon.com/live. If not, just head over to Twitch and you can definitely just like type Pokemon, you'll find it. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I don't know if any rogue decks will pop up, but Burning Shadows is legal, so anything can happen. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen today in Anaheim. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Have a fantastic day. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, so playing is Glimmer Light. Looks like they're playing a water deck. I hope it's not Ninetales. As you see right there, there's definitely Ninetales right there. And if it's a GX deck, we are in trouble because Hippowdon doesn't really work against GX Pokemon. And we start with Shaymin, which is somebody who we don't want to start with at all. So 2 great things happening at once. So great, fantastic. We're doing good from the start. And there's a Seismitoad. Now, Seismitoad is fine. I'm actually okay with Seismitoad. That's okay. There's a Gatsis. We do not care about Gatsis at all. So that's a good card for us. Okay. There's a Rock Guard. Ooh, Rock Guard makes things very interesting. Make it where we hit it. Oh, we get take 6 damage counter, so DC goes to the active and pass onto our turn. Well, we're going to start off with Korrina. With the Korrina, we'll grab a Hippopotas. And I'm going to grab... So you put a DC in the active. So I'm going to grab an Enhanced Hammer and just go ahead and get rid of that DC off the active. Let's put down the Hippopotas. We'll put down the Fighting Energy. We'll Enhanced Hammer, discarding the DC off the active. And right now, we'll just pass on to our opponent's turn. Alright, so what we can do next turn... Sorry, my hair is pretty crazy. Is we can put a DC in the active, go for Sky Return, get a Hippowdon out, and Sky Return to it. Alright, so there's a Trubbish coming down. We really don't care about Garbodor. There's a Crushing Hammer, and that's a heads. Oh boy, that's a card we care about, though. Alright, so Crushing Hammer heads, discarding that Fighting Energy, which is very unfortunate. Another Seismitoad hit the field, and a pass onto our turn. Well, we get a DC. Alright, so I'm a Korrina. And with a Korrina, I'm going to grab a Hippowdon. And I'm actually going to grab a V... I kind of grab a VS Seeker. We could grab an Ultra Ball. And Ultra Ball and a DCE way to get out a Seismitoad. But I don't think that's too worth it right now. So I'm gonna grab a Hippowdon for sure, and I'm gonna grab a Muscle Band. Okay. So put on the Hippowdon. We'll put a Muscle Band on it. Put a DC on the Hippowdon, and once again, we'll just pass it to our opponent's turn. What we'll do next turn is put a DC in the active, go for the end, get a new hand of 6, and be good to go from there. We do put the Acerola, so it can help us out. There's a super scoop of heads. Gonna pick up the Shaymin. Okay. We see a Fury Belt going to the bench Seismitoad. And we might see a Shaymin for 3 here, just setting up for 3 new cards. Alright, so Seismitoad is actually a very... Okay, there's a Xerosic. Okay, stop doing this, opponent. Shaymin coming down, going to set up for 4. Okay. Alright, does he find a DC, get a Quick Punch off? So there's an Ultra Ball, going to start 2 cards from his hand, discards discards a Verbing and a Super Rod? Yeah, so we see Garbodor coming down. I don't really care about Garbodor. We don't care about abilities. There's another Super Scoop Up. Head's going to pick up the Shaymin, put it back into his hand. Going to put it back down and set up for some more cards. There's a Verbeek City Gym coming down. We do not care about Verbeek unless he flips a laser at its heads. Then we'll care about it. Alright, so Shaymin's setting up to 6 more cards. Okay. Does my opponent find a DCE or not? There's one in the discard pile. They probably play a couple. And there's a Water Jig on the active. Alright, so pass on to our turn. Okay, so we have an option here. I think the play is still put a DC in the active. And just going to play an in here. Okay, so we'll get 6 new cards. We'll get 6 new cards as well. So there's an Acerola, a Seismitoad, and a Fighting Energy. And that's actually really good because what we can do next turn, if he Acerolas, is we can put down Hippowdon and start going that way. I'm going to put down a Seismitoad as well. I'm going to put down a Silent Lab to bump his Verbeek City Gym. And right now we're just going to pass it to our opponent's turn. Okay. So one thing we have to worry about though is the lasers. The hypnotoxic lasers are going to be very annoying. But maybe it'll be okay. But Silent Lab will shut down a Shaymin. There's another Enhanced Hammer. Oh my goodness. That's Enhanced Hammer number 2, correct? 1. No, just 1. Alright, so there's an end. We'll both get 6 new cards. Hopefully we find a DCE so we get Sky Return. Alright, we did not find one, unfortunately. Okay, so we'll see a Quick Punch here for 30. Unless he finds a laser. Nope, just Quick Punch for 30 damage. Okay, so on our turn. Find an Acerola. Alright, so we get an Acerola right now, but it really doesn't do anything for us. So I'm just going to put a Fighting Energy on the bench Hippowdon and just pass to our opponent's turn. Yeah, because he really can't take a knockout right here, right now. Alright, so there is a Verbeek City Gym coming down. This still does not allow him to take a knockout. Alright, so there's a Hypnotoxic Laser. He can poison us and all that kind of good stuff. So tells we're not asleep, so that's good. We thought we could DCE. I might go for a Quake Punch, but then we get bought for 60 because of the Rock Guard. So that's very unfortunate. We need a Lysandre as well to bring up this bench Seismitoad. That'd be pretty good to get it stuck in the active spot. And there we see a DC going to the bench. He could have put on the active and gone for a Grenade Hammer to take a knockout, but he's going to opt not to do that. And we see a VS Seeker. Let's see what he goes for here. So gets us. So what gets us, he's only going to get 2 cards. And this is actually really good for us because what we can do is like Sycamore and try to hit a DC and go for Sky Return. I think I'm fine with that play. We are down 2 DCs though, which is very, very annoying. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Or do we discard the Acerola? I don't know. So there's a Quake Punch, okay. This is going to do 30. Plus poison. Not enough for knockout. We're still living. So there's a Korrina. Okay. How many VS Seekers has he gone through? Just the one. That's not good. Alright, so we'll put a Strong Energy on the bench. We'll Acerola the active. And I'm going to send the Seismitoad and just Shaymin for 3 new cards. I kind of wish we had a Hawlucha, because Hawlucha would be really good right now, but whatever, we'll Shaymin for 3 new cards. There's a Lysandre, so put down the Hawlucha, and right now we'll just pass to our opponent's turn. What we can do next turn is maybe the Lysandre trying to bring the Garbodor up. He hasn't played a single Flowstone yet, which is kind of interesting. You gotta think he's playing like 3 or 4, but we haven't seen one. There's a Crushing Hammer. Heads. Gonna discard the Strong Energy, okay. So that's Crushing Hammer number 2. And he still has Xerosic as well, so this is not going good. There's a Laser, okay. Laser would be Tails, which is good for us. But does he have the Flowstone or not? But regardless, they have 17 cards left, and they still have to knock out 6 Pokemon. Or 6 prize cards. There's a Super Scoop up. Heads, gonna pick up the Shaymin most likely. Alright, so we Shaymin picked up. We'll see it, put it back down. Gonna draw 3 new cards. And, I mean, they're slowly starting to deck themselves out, so 14 cards left, okay. Alright. Let's see, did they find a Flowstone? Because they didn't find a Flowstone, I'm definitely Lysandre up that Garbodor. So there's a VS Seeker, well, they played in here, oh, and there's a Getsis. Getsis will only get them 1, but that's our second VS Seeker, which is good for us, because we need to make sure we get rid of all those Xerosics. I mean, he can't use Xerosics anymore. He's used 2 VS Seekers, he has 2 left, okay. Because once we start going for the Resistance Desert, we should be good to go. There's a fear about going to the Garbodor, and this is fantastic for us. Alright, so he knows we have a... He saw our hand, and saw what we had in there, but he's going to go for... Okay, he's going to go for Quake Punch here. And on our turn, we are just going to Lysandre, bring up that Garbodor, and we are just going to pass it to our opponent's turn. He has to commit 3 energies to retreat this, or... find a... He has AZ the discard pile, which is another VS Seeker that he'll have to burn. Which is fine with me. I'm fine if he burns another VS Seeker here. Because that's one less Xerosic play we have to worry about. Okay. So let's see. What does our opponent do here? He can take a knockout this turn. So Ultra Ball, going to start 2 cards from his hand. He can't use Lele. He discards a Team Flare Gun as well. So that's 1 more Disruption card we don't have to worry about anymore. And there's an end. So go through 6 new cards, and we're still alive and well. If we draw a VS Seeker, we can go for Acerola. There's a VS Seeker, a Focus Sash, okay, and just pass on to our turn. Alright, so on our turn, we get a Muscle Band. So I'm going to go for VS Seeker for an Acerola. I'm going to pick up that Seismitoad. And this is how you kind of beat it back in the day, too. You kind of just, like, you just denied them. They couldn't take knockouts. You're good to go. Put down a Hippopotas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll Muscle Band the Hawlucha. Yeah, we'll put a Focus Sash on this guy. And we are going to VS Seeker for an in. For next turn. Just in case he does decide to get out a... just in case he does somehow get out a way to retreat Garbodor. But remember, he has what? 2 VS Seekers in this Garbodor. So there's a VS Seeker. We'll see a Guzma. Oh, baby. Who's going to bring up a Guzma here? VS Seeker for Guzma. I didn't even know he had a Guzma in this Garbodor. Alright, so who will he bring up with the Guzma? That's my question. But he has 6 cards left in deck. Okay. 2 in are there. There's a Guzma. I'm going to bring up the Hippopotas, which doesn't take a knockout right now. So I'm fine with this play. There's a DC going to the bench. And there's a Quake Punch. Alright, so 80 damage because of that weakness. Okay, so on our turn, we get a DC. So right now, I'm just going to hold on to him. I'm just going to press done onto our opponent's turn. I'm going to let him take a knockout. And then I'm going to end him. We got a DC for next turn. Ow, my phone just unplugged. And it hit my leg. Oh, there's a Crush Hammer. Lovely. Lovely. Alright, so heads. Oh, there goes the Fighting Energy. That play doesn't work anymore. Alright. So we see a knockout doing 80. Okay. So on my turn, we're going to send the Hawlucha. And now we're back to square one. Hippopotas is not working anymore. Alright, so we'll put down the Seismitoad. We'll put a DC on it. We will retreat and just go for a Quake Punch here. Alright, so 30 damage onto our opponent's turn. He's got 4 cards left, but if he has a water energy, we can see a grenade hammer here in 2 turns. So 40 damage, okay. On our turn, we get a Sycamore. So I'm going to Sycamore here, just going to discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. We need to power the Hippopotas. And we Hippowdon, and no, we don't have one. We'll put down a Silent Lab. We'll go for another Quake Punch. And if he doesn't have an energy here, we can Acerola, pick up the Seismitoad, put it back in our hand, and deny this prize card. But does he have another energy in his hand? And if he does, we do have an option to VS Seeking for Lysandre to bring up a Garbodor. And nope, we just see another Quake Punch. So we're going to see another Acerola play here, just helping us out more. So we'll Acerola, pick up the Seismitoad. We'll sit in the Hawlucha. Just like back in the day, we played Sinnoh Lady, which is essentially a lot better now. Put that down, put a DC on it. We will retreat into the Seismitoad. And there's a victory screen. My opponent was going to deck out. I don't know if they had any more energies left. They did have a lot already played. And there we go. We beat the Seismitoad Garbage deck. We didn't use Hippowdon, but this is how that mirror match kind of went down. We'll look at our opponent's deck real quick. And you're going to see 3 water, 4 DCE. I know there was 3 water in play. I can't remember what's my opponent's active. I can't remember what was all on there. But you can see he didn't have that many more energies to really use, so we're good to go there. So yeah, we took down the evil Seismitoad Garbodor deck. Yeah, so that's good. Fantastic. I know there's 2 water energies on the bench, so maybe he was out of energies, and he had 3 turns to do stuff. And just the power of like Acerola, we had Lysandre plays. This is how you beat Seismitoad in the day too. You really didn't use Hippowdon too much because they do play lasers. Back then you had PCL, so you can kind of heal that way, but now you have Acerola, so it's a little bit better matchup. It was already a good matchup, but it's even better now. And yeah, so we'll see another game with the Hippowdon deck here in a second. Even though we didn't tackle Hippowdon, that's how you beat this Seismitoad mirror match. So hopefully the next game we actually see Hippowdon attack, and hopefully it's against an EX deck and not a GX deck, so we'll see what happens on Fan Friday here in a second. Alright guys. Alright, so game number 2, playing against INMC, and they have the advantage, so I'm kind of scared. There's a bunch of different types on their deck, so I'm not sure what they're playing, but we are going first. Yeah, I want to go first. Alright, so I'm hoping it's, I mean, if it's Mega Mewtwo, we're fine with that matchup, and we have a fine start here. We got the DC, we got a Muscle Band, we can start Quake Punch, and we're going to be good to go. Now, what I'm considering doing is maybe not attaching the DC turn 1, because I don't want him to play stuff like Xerosic or Enhanced Hammer, stuff like that. I want to be able to, you know, pull a good Quake Punch off. And there's a Keldeo in the active spot. So right now I'm just going to pass. I'm not going to do anything. It might seem crazy. He could potentially knock us out if he's playing Mega Ray. But we're going to risk it here. We're going to see what's going to happen. So there's an Ultra Ball. And I have a feeling it might be Mega Ray. That's what I have. I have a gut feeling it's Mega Ray. It was just a bunch of different colors. It might be Mega Mewtwo, and there's a double dragon being discarded. So maybe I'm wrong here. There's a Hoopa. We're going to see a Scondring. Okay. So there's a Hypnotoxic Laser. That's good. That's a good thing to do against us. Heads, we do go Night-Night. Okay. And there's a Hoopa. Going to use Scondring to search for 3 EX Pokemon. Alright, so he's playing Dragon. Some kind of Dragon deck, but I'm not sure what's in there. Okay. So we're going to find out here in a second what this Hoopa gets us. Alright, and Hoopa pulls out a Seismitoad Giratina, and it's a Seismitoad Giratina deck. What is going on right now? Alright, so Seismitoad coming down, DCE, Giratina, Shaymin, okay, we see some setup happening. Alright, does he find a Floatstone? If he doesn't find a Floatstone, do we wake up? There's a lot of stuff that can happen this turn. Alright, so just going to pass here, alright. So we wake up, which is fantastic. So from the start, we're going to look good in this mirror match. Unfortunately, it's another mirror match. Alright, so we taught like a Enhanced Hammer, so that's good. We're getting rid of the DC off the bench. We'll put a DC in the active, put down a Muscle Band, and we'll just Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 cards. What we're looking for is a Hippopotas, and we kind of find one. We can Ultra Ball, discarding the Focus Sash. This is pretty much useless in this game. We'll grab a Hippopotas. We could grab a Shaymin to set up. It's actually not a bad idea. So yeah, we'll grab a Shaymin. We'll put down the Hawlucha, put a Muscle Band on it, and we will Shaymin for 4 new cards. We could have guaranteed a Hippopotas, but I need a supporter card for next turn, and we have one next turn. So I'll put down Silent Lab, and I'm just going to Quake Punch for that 50 damage. Alright, so we're looking good. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be another kind of mirror match here. But next turn, we got the Korrina. We can get the Hippopotas out. And then we have Acerola to pick the Seismitoad back into her hand, which is really good. So we see a double dragon going to Giratina, and that is scary. Oh man, as Xerosic getting over DCE. And we'll see a pass onto our turn. Alright, so that's not good. Well, we thought we could DCE, guys. So put a DC in the active. We'll Korrina. And with the Korrina, we'll find a Hippopotas and Enhanced Hammer. Okay, because we'll get rid of the double dragon off the bench. He doesn't need that card. It's not good for him. So put down the Hippopotas. We'll put a Enhanced Hammer, discard the double dragon. And we'll go for another Quake Punch. The only bad thing is it's going to set us back another turn. Alright, so we're still poisoned. That's still kicking in. So on to our opponent's turn. Do they play their own Acerola? Do they have a second? Alright, another double dragon coming down. Okay. Oh boy. Alright, so Quake Punch. I mean, pass. Alright, so pass. What I'm scared of is that Xerosic. I'm not gonna lie to you. Put a Strong Energy on this guy. We'll put down a Hippowdon. And we'll go for another Quake Punch. Okay, so we're doing 50. Alright, so another poison damage. On to our opponent's turn. Alright, so we're gonna take a knockout this turn. There's a DC going to the bench. I'm so scared because we could Ace roll the Seismitoad and just go for a new Quake Punch, but then Giratina knocks us out in 2 turns. All right, so there's a Guzma. He's gonna bring up a Hippowdon or a Hawlucha. Actually, that's fine with me. And the bad thing about this is he's gonna Chaos Wall and he's gonna shut down our play to get out the Hippowdon this turn. So put a Seismitoad on the active. Okay, on our turn, we get a Lysandre. Well, Lysandre's pretty good right now. It's actually really good. Alright, so I'm gonna Fighting Energy on the Hippowdon. And I'm gonna Lysandre up the Hoopa and go for a Quake Punch. Alright, so that's a good top deck, so we'll Quake Punch there for the 50. So on our opponent's turn, okay, so now the Hoopa's stuck in the axe, but it has a 2 retreat cost. I guess he could commit a DCE, but that'll be his 3rd DCE being committed. There's a Shadow Triad. I don't care about Shadow Triad, really. He has a Laser. He can't play that right now unless he plays a Ranger. Pass onto our turn. We get a VS Seeker. Okay. With the VS Seeker, we're going to go for a Xerosic. And we're going to just Xerosic off that Double Dragon. You don't need that card. That's not good for you. And we'll go for another Quake Punch here. Okay. So, do another 50 onto our opponent's turn. Now, even though we're looking good, we're still in a very shaky situation. Because if he finds another double dragon... Oh, he has 3 double dragons in discard pile. That is fantastic for us. So, go for another Quake Punch. Okay. Alright, so 50 more damage onto our opponent's turn. He is down 3 double dragons and a DCE. So, if it gets us, he's going to get 1. Yeah, Gets is really not that useful this turn. Alright, so on our turn, we get a Rescue Stretcher. Stretcher, not that useful, but I am going to play it right now just in case. Yeah, I'll put a Pokemon in our hand. We're going to grab a Hawlucha just to have free treater. So grab that, we'll put it down. And what we have to kind of be scared of is a Double Dragon. So we'll go for Quake Punch here. Okay, for the knockout, go down to 4 prize cards. There's 1, there's 2. We get a Fighting Energy and a Sycamore. So with the Fighting Energy, that's really good. It's really good right now to have a Fighting Energy. So we see a Seismitoad in the active, Quake Punch for 30 damage. Alright, so on our turn, took a DC. Alright, so we'll go for Acerola. We'll pick up the Seismitoad. We'll send to the Hawlucha. We'll put down his... I really want to go for Seismitoad, but he has these things called lasers, and they're really annoying. So I really don't want to attack with the Hippowdon unless I really have to. So put a DC down. We'll retreat into the Seismitoad, and we'll go for more Quake Punch here. Another Quake Punch. I know this is fun and interactive Pokemon, right? But this is how you beat Seismitoad. I don't know why we're playing 2 in a row, but whatever. We'll take it. Another Quake Punch for 30. Alright, on our turn, we will put a Fighting Energy on the Hippowdon. We'll go for another Quake Punch for 30. And we got the first Quake Punch off, so we are going to take the knockout before he is, unless he plays a way to pick up the Seismitoad. Alright, so another Quake Punch. Alright. On our turn, We get a Fighting Energy. And so he has 120 HP left. So I'm going to put a Fighting Energy in the bench Hawlucha. And I'm going to go for another Quake Punch. And what we could do is maybe retreat to Flying Press to Seismitoad. It's a risky play, but it could pay off, because if we Flying Press to Hawlucha, he's forced to attack a Giratina, but they have VS Seeker for Lysandre to bring the Keldeo up and win the game. So as he have Verbic City Gym come down, we don't care about that really. There's a Jirachi, so Stellar Guidance could be very, very useful here, depending on what's in his deck. Does he have a second Xerosic? Maybe a Team Flare Grunt? Team Flare Grunt's not going to be that good for him, because we have a DC in hand. He really needs an N here. But even N's really not going to disrupt us too much, because we have the DC in the active. He needs like another Guzma, maybe. Maybe his own Acerola. So there's an Acerola going to his hand. Alright, so with this Acerola, what will he do here? Does he pick up the Seismitoad? If he does, who does he send in? So nope, just go for another Quake Punch. Alright, so another 30 damage coming down. On our turn, we get a Korrina. Let's see. So he has 90 HP left. So I'm going to go for Korrina here, just to thin our deck down, so we don't draw back into it. We'll grab a Hawlucha and a Switch. Just trying to thin our deck down as much as we can. So grab these two. We'll put down that guy has a 4 Trick Ghost. I don't know if I'm going to put him down straight away. We'll put down Hawlucha, and we'll go for another Quake Punch for 30. Alright, so what we can do next turn is we can put a DC in the active, retreat to the Hawlucha, take a knockout. Or we just keep swinging Seismitoad. It's not a bad play either. What I'm scared is that he's going to Acerola to pick up the Seismitoad the following turn. Because if we punch here, he goes to 150, and then we can punch for the knockout. So that's what I'm scared of. He's going to use the Acerola next turn to pick up the Seismitoad. So I'd rather just like put a DC in the active, retreat to Hawlucha, and just take a knockout. We go down to 2 price cards, and then we have this last Resistance Desert Hippowdon. So I think that's what we're going to do here. I think we're going to put a DC in the active, retreat into the Hawlucha, discard a double DCE, which is fine. I think this is a fine play. We'll go for Korrina. We're just thin our deck down some more. We'll grab a Hippopotas and just trying to thin down as much as we can, because he's probably going to end us here. Spin on Hippopotas. We'll go and Flying Press for 60. I think this is good. Like I said, if we don't take a knockout right now, he can send in his. He can use Acerola, which is what I'm really scared of. So grab a Hawlucha and a Silent Lab. So on to our opponent's turn, he's going to be free to do whatever he wants to. We did break the item log, but what can he really do? I don't know. So free route to the active. We see a Crushing Hammer. Heads. Going to discard a Fighting Energy off the off the active. Okay, that's fine with me. There's a Hypnotoxic Laser. Tails. Remember, he is down 3 Double Dragons. Alright, so Enhanced Hammer, discard a Strong Energy off the bench. There's a Flowstone to the Keldeo. Alright. Well, what else does he have here? So there's a VS Seeker. Gonna go for Gatsis. With Gatsis, he's only gonna get 2. No, 4? Yeah. What am I talking about? So 4 cards, which is actually fine here. I think it's a fine play. I think it's fine for us. So there's another size coming down, and a Double Dragon, and a Chaos Wolf for the knockout. Alright, so this is fine. We have 2 Hawluchas. They can start swinging. So send up a Hawlucha. On our turn, we find a VS Seeker. Alright, so we'll put down a Hawlucha, and I'm a VS Seeker for a Xerosic, and get rid of the 4th and final Double Dragon. Now, he might play, what is it? He might play Special Charge to get back those Double Dragons, but he does have 4 Double Dragons in the discard pile now. Alright, so on our opponent's turn, once again, we're being very offensive, so there's a DC on the active, a Rock Guard going to Seismitoad, a Laser, okay, Heads, he will not take a knockout, there's Crush Hammer, Tails, okay, there's a Russian, going to retreat to the Seismitoad, and we're going to see a Quake Punch here. So there's a Acerola, pick in the Keldeo, put it back down, Floodstone on the Keldeo. There's a Quake Punch. He won't take a knockout here. He will be short. Alright, and Heads, we do wake up. Alright, so on our turn, we'll put down a Strong Energy in this guy, put down a Silent Lab, and we will just Sycamore, discard our hand, draw on 7 new cards. So Acerola, we'll put down Hippowdon. We will retreat into the Hippowdon, and we will go for a good old Resistant Desert. Alright, so first Resistant Desert coming off, doing 80 damage. We will take 60 from the Rock Guard, but we're fine here. He really can't do too much. He can maybe do 30 max with Laser. There's a Laser coming down, okay. Tells. Alrighty. What else does he have here? So another Quake Punch. Not going to get hurt. Take a 10 damage from poison. Alright, so on our turn, we get a Computer Search. Not useful right now, unfortunately. But, so he hasn't played any VS Secrets. He has one VS Secret in this card pile. Match became very, very interesting all of a sudden. Because we need to find a Lysandre. Well, Lysandre's not going to help us out either. Okay. Wait, we just win now, don't we? Oh, yeah, we just put a Fighting Energy active into Double Edge for the knockout. I'm really silly, so we'll just Double Edge for the knockout. Sorry, didn't see that play, but Double Edge coming in clutch there. Gonna take a knockout. We do get knocked out thanks to everything, but there we go. Oh, man, there. I was like, what? How do we win this turn? I'm like, okay, if we had an energy, we got this. I'm like, oh, there we go. There's Resistance Desert. There's a Double Edge for the knockout. And there we go. There is the Hippowdon Seismitoad deck. Now, like I said, it does struggle against GX Pokemon, because obviously they're not EXs, but still, you can probably, I mean, the main GX you have to worry about in Expanded is Darkrai and Marshadow. Marshadow is definitely more scarier, because Darkrai you hit for weakness, you don't care about that, you're just like, whatever, I'm just going to knock you out. But there we go, there is this edition of Fan Friday, us playing the Hippowdon deck. Like I said, link is down below if you want to see me talking about the old Hippowdon, see how it did back in 2015. It's been 2 years, since I played Hippowdon for Worlds, making a day 2 in the Boston, was it Boston? Yeah, Boston. Yeah, making a day 2 of Boston with our with the Hippowdon deck. Thanks to Tommy. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. It'll be a fantastic Friday, and we'll see what happens at the World Championship today. I'm excited to see what's going to happen, what's going to do well, and all that kind of good stuff. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. It'll be a fantastic Friday. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.